So in today's video we've got three iPhones, two iPhone 7s, an iPhone SE, just gonna see what's wrong with them as, unknown faults, so could be something severe, could be something easy, we'll find out. So we're going to start with the iPhone 7 with the leopard print case on it. It doesn't seem to be turning on straight off the bat, so let's see, right, it's pulling 0.91. That's about normal for charging, so my guess is either screen or could be board level, so we'll have a look at the screen. Just going to start by undoing the two bottom screws. And once you've undone them, just going to take the pry tool, start prying from the bottom and then pry the sides. To the right of the home button is where the cables are, so just be mindful of that. They're about a quarter of the way up, so yeah, like I say, just be careful. And then a quarter of the way down, if you go too deep, you might also get the proximity sensor front camera flex. Okay, what we can see already is it has got an Apple original battery. So I'm just going to start by removing the four screws that hold the battery and the screen connector shield on. The four tri-wing screws, three of them are the same size, one of them is a long screw, so just remove them, and then the two at the top, which are crossheads. So when I'm taking the shield off these ones, I always like to go in from the screen connector, because although it doesn't happen too often, sometimes if you disconnect the screen, more often it happens when you connect the screen while the battery is connected. while it's powered on. But yeah, if you're not careful, you can blow the backlight, and we don't want to do that. So I always tend to go in via the screen first, just to try and make sure that connector doesn't come up. Okay, I've just found a what I believe is one of my test screens, so I'm just going to plug that in and make sure that it is the screen causing this issue. Okay, as we can see, this screen's no good. The LCD on it's gone. Glass is obviously alright. I couldn't tell you whether the touch works or not, but yeah, the LCD's gone on that one, so luckily I've got another one here. Okay, here's my other one. Looks like it's in worse nick, to be honest, so let's see if this one works. Okay, it's not very bright, but I can just about see the charging symbol there. Okay, we'll just let that charge, and then we'll test it. Okay, now we've got the iPhone 7 that's got the sort of ring handle case type thingy. See what's wrong with this one. Just going to start by plugging it in and seeing what it pulls. Okay, it's pulling 0.91, 0.93, yeah. It's pulling what it should, so that does seem to be alright. We'll test that in a minute. Right, now on to the SE. Yeah, okay, it's pulling 0.30, although I am getting the battery symbol, so this one does look like it's charging. Screen looks like it's working, so again, we'll let them all charge and go through further testing. Okay, the SE seems to have come on. It seems to be at the start menu, so just gonna test its touch. Gonna run through it and just make sure it all works fine. On the setup, I am just gonna skip all this because A, I'm not setting it up for myself or anybody, and B, I'm just going through it so I can test it. touch does seem to be a little bit laggy, but then again that could just be my fingers. But yeah, it is quite a lengthy process just to go through the setup. Okay, front and rear camera seems to both work fine. Yep, the microphone seems to be picking up sounds. So, just gonna run through everything I can think of that will need testing. I'll put a SIM in it as well. See what network it's locked to. Okay, it does say SIM carrier EE, but again that doesn't necessarily mean it's locked to EE, so I will double check. Okay, the SE tested all fine. Now we're back onto the iPhone 7 that needed the screen, the one with the leopard print case. So the touch on that works fine. Does seem to boot up fine as well. So it does just seem to be the screen. I mean the battery's probably not great, but at the very least a screen. And to put back together, it's just plug all the connectors back in, align the screws back up. If you do what I do and lay your screws out in the order you take them out, it makes it a lot easier on reassembly. So yeah, just put the shells back and get a new screen for that and do that. And once the screen's all clipped back in, bottom two screws in there, and we'll put that aside. Okay, the other iPhone 7 is now booted up. Got a bit of a charge in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to test this as well. Okay, this one reckons it's got no SIM restrictions, so already that's a good sign. It's a 32 gig. The battery health is 86%, so getting quite close to needing a new battery, if not needing one already. So I'm just going to test the microphone as well now. Yeah, that's picking up the sound, so that's perfectly fine. Speakers work fine. Release a loudspeaker. With this test on the iPhone 7, it also, if you can't use voice memo on an iPhone 7, and both your speakers are greyed out during calls, then chances are you'll have what's known as the audio IC fault. So just be aware of that. Just testing the cameras now, and both of them seem to work perfectly fine. So, apart from probably needing a new battery, this one doesn't really need anything doing to it. And the flash works as well, so that's all good. It's connected to Wi-Fi, so, or at least it was. Just checking the compass. Yeah, gyroscope works, so that's fine. So yeah, that one's all fine. The other one tested fine as well. So apart from a screen, possibly a battery on the leopard print one, probably a battery on this one as well. And I didn't check the SE's battery status. But yeah, diagnosis, just a screen. Nothing really else stopping them from being working devices. Okay, now we've checked all that, I'm just gonna grab my tweezers and get any of the dust that might be in the charger port or the speaker grills. I haven't got any at the moment, but I'd advise using a toothpick and just sharpening it down to do this, as if you're not careful, you could with metal tweezers like mine, you could short pins, and that wouldn't be a good idea, especially if send power down the wrong way. So best use something wooden, but just be careful and make sure you sharpen the toothpick down, because they're just a little bit too thick. Just going to get a toothbrush now and get the rest of the dust and dirt that's still in there. I've cut the bristles on this one lower down. Makes it good for just getting in and sort of really getting the dust out, so give that a good clean down. And I'm just going to do the same to the other one. Okay, so one of the speakers on one of the both of the speakers on one of the iPhones seem to be a little bit quiet, so I'm just gonna give them both a tear down and clean down. Gonna start with the loudspeaker. And now I'm just gonna get the earpiece speaker out and give the grill a good clean as well. And to reassemble, just line it back up, get the screws back in, because it's an iPhone, different size screws, so just make sure you've taken them out or you remember the orientation in which they came out, and just put it all back together and then retest. Okay, yeah, that tested all fine. Certainly sounded a lot better. So they're all done. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more.